Not that kind.
Oj dana, malo to papuga.
That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the fourth Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you, because your opinion does matter.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform.
All right, welcome back to Trenton today here at Trenton Central High School in the Digital Audio Lab. Yeah, so what do you do during this stressful time of year to deal with the holidays? Always has a different feeling, whether it's in the workplace or in the classroom when you're getting up to the big day and the holiday break. What's it feeling like this year at Trenton Central? You guys, I don't know, do you feel like an extra bit of energy?
Yeah, there's like a lot of energy in the hallways. This morning there was like a lot of group of people laughing, smiling, and jumping around. It was nice. People are also helping decorate the halls for challenges and stuff because they're really competitive here. It's really nice, to see everybody excited. I've seen so many students like ask their friends if they want to do Secret Santas with them and stuff, which I found real fun, but I'm not doing that this year because last year I did that and it was hard trying to find stuff for people. But I think it's pretty nice.
Well, I've been having a hard time finding the right things for my special people, but the search continues. We got a little more time left. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the holidays also marks the end of a semester, like finals and everything. Is there some grade-related concerns at this time of year?
In some classes, I have not been able to finish my assignments.
Wait a second, you're like a senior now.
Yeah.
Has senioritis completely set in for you?
It's a lot of stress because I also had to do assignments, and then my main point right now is like looking for colleges, and I had to go like back and forth through stuff. I had to call my mom, ask her for stuff because I know nothing about myself except for my mom. So I had to like call her for everything I need, and then she be like talking back like, you already know everything. Why are you asking me? And I'm like, I need it. You're the only person who knows it. So and then assignments.
That sounds kind of stressful.
It is stressful.
Yeah. Big life decisions too. Those are a lot of things to consider.
I had to beg for so many colleges. Like my mom, she would rather me near, but I want to be kind of far away from her. So I had to like some colleges whenever I'm like talking to her about it. And then I remember for Keene, I told her from here it's like 53 minutes, and from where she lives it's like 1 hour and 37 minutes. And she was like, do you really want to go that far? I'm like, yes. Like I want to be far away.
It sounds like a pretty good distance. You can still go home.
I could still go home and get food. Right. I even told her that, and she was like, so you want me to bring you food every day? I'm like, yes.
This time of year, Police Director Wilson, is it a more stressful time for the police department? And in general, what are you able to do to help reduce stress? Are there programs that police are able to take advantage of?
So I'm glad you asked because that's part of our reforms. A lot of things came into question about what do the police do when they're responding to mental health calls. and a lot of times those calls resulted in arrest. And someone that's having a mental health issue doesn't necessarily need to be arrested, but get help. So I'm proud to say that starting last year around this time, we were able to join and participate in the Attorney General's Arrive Together program. And what that is mental health experts that go out with the police department to these type of calls, and they make visits to folks that have these issues, and they do follow-ups with them and to try to get them the help that they need. And some folks are very receptive, some aren't, but we still keep at it. And these addresses become flagged in our CAD system, so when an officer gets detailed out there, they automatically are informed that, hey, there was an issue there involving mental health, so police arrive with a different frame of mind. So that's what we do for the public, and it seems to be very successful. And it was started. The townships had it, and so I inquired with the former Mercer County prosecutor, like, I need that here too. But we had a manpower issue, and I said that doesn't matter. Angela Onifrey was the former prosecutor. I said that doesn't matter. Let's get it here too. So with his help and the Attorney General's office, we have Arrived Together here now in the city. And as far as the police department and stress, yes, we have programs in place. We have officers that are trained in resiliency. So when police officers respond to scenes that may be horrific, remember, police officers are people too, and they try, as an officer, you try to compartmentalize that and separate yourself from that. But those things have an effect on you, and more so than the regular person on the street, because police officers, firemen, EMS, they're detailed to sometimes things that are very tragic or very horrible, but they have to look past the tragedy and go to work and handle these things. But that builds up over time, and sometimes an officer needs assistance too. So we have resiliency programs in place.
Yeah, the average person can avoid that situation and just say, look, I'm going to try to craft my life so I don't have to go back to whatever that place was. But for the police officer, they have to go back to work the next day and potentially know that they could be faced with, again, something challenging like that.
For sure.
A lot of the work with police departments and social services seemed to arise after the George Floyd situation and horrific incident. And there was also some discussion about defund the police at that time. But I feel like that's pretty contradictory, because you guys need additional training so that you can work successfully with social services, and that all requires time, energy, money, education, the right type of people to kind of help you navigate those situations and find a new way of doing things.
Right, which brings me to the next part of that. Through the Arrive Together program, our officers that work directly with the Arrive Together people from Capitol Health, they are being trained in crisis intervention training, which I'm going to hopefully expand to all of the patrol officers. So that will help exactly those incidents that we have to respond to. That there's a crisis, and we can respond other than having to arrest. Certainly, if we have to make an arrest, we will do so as well. But some of these incidents we respond to, you don't have to make an arrest. And if the officer can recognize that this is a mental health issue, then we can activate Arrive Together. We can activate crisis intervention from a team to come out from Capitol Health.
Yeah, there's always the perception and then the reality of situations, and sometimes the two things don't always meet up. I mean, when you look at Trenton Central High School, such an amazing facility here. We're here in the digital audio lab. I think sometimes, Montanel, there's not enough credit for the students and the educators that are here at Trenton Central High School, and the work that goes on. And it's feeling the vibe from the folks that join us. There's a lot of opportunities here at Trenton Central High. You want the high? You got the high.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun being here. Like, really fun. You can be close to teachers, and it's like having like another parent, but in the facility that you are in. So it's pretty nice. You can talk to them if you are stressed about something, if you want to talk about your grades or anything that relates to something like that, which is good. But also we can also have some terrible stuff that happens even outside of school, and it can be really hurtful to some students, especially with the whole fire thing that happened, and another student during Halloween, which was a friend of one of my friends, which was sad. She was real sad, and nobody really knew what to do because I know she barely talks to anybody. So it was good that they at least had somebody come to talk to them and to be able to like let her let out her feelings and stuff. Yeah.
Do you think those situations create a misperception around Trenton Central High School or the experience here for most students?
No, I don't think so. Unless some people think of it that way. With me here, I've seen how many things going on and how helpful some of the teachers can be. Well, most of the teachers are always helpful. So I don't really see much of anything bad of how people see us, but it depends on like how outsiders see the way it is. But in here, I think
agree.
we all don't see it that way.
Do you think that goes for Trenton in general?
Yes, I think she hit the nail on the head. Trenton gets a bad rap. Trenton High School does. Trenton Police, the city of Trenton, is on a positive rise, I believe. And like she says, people from the outside look in, they have a preconceived notion about the city of Trenton and Trenton High, Trenton Police, city of Trenton itself. And good things are coming. Good things are coming out of this school. Good things. And good police reform and good policing is coming out of Trenton Police Department and the city of Trenton itself. I think there's more investors interested to come back here and push the city forward. So I think you hit that nail right on the head. That was a very good statement from you.
Can you speak specifically about the misperception maybe that comes from outside about the job that Trenton Police are doing in the city and some of the positive things that you see in that regard and look to?
Oh, sure. One is the reforms that we talked about, and we often don't get credit for that, but we should. Because
those perceptions, they're slow to change.
They certainly are. The other thing is statistically, when I first started the year before I got here, and the year I was only here half a year in 2021, there was 41 homicides. We were considerably down in 4 years, and it's been going down each year that I've been here, and that's not the Trenton Police show or the Steve Wilson show, but we've reestablished connections with the community. I think we have more community folks reaching out to us than before. I go to tons of community meetings because people they don't want to hear necessarily or read about it, but they want to talk to me. They want to talk to the director of the police and say, hey, this is what I think is going wrong. This is what I think you're doing well. And I take all of that in, and we make changes if we have to make changes, and we do things better because one of my goals here from Mayor Gussiora was you have to reestablish that connection with the public. And you're right. Post George Floyd, police departments and communities got separated, and Trenton also did, and so.
You feel like that bridge is starting to...
Yes, absolutely it is.
The gap is being bridged.
Yeah, there's... you can contact the police through TPD tips. You can text the police. You can email the police. You can even complain if you go to our website in 22 different languages if you have a problem when a police officer did something wrong. So we're very transparent in that regard. And if our police officers did something wrong, I want to know about it because... we have to change that type of behavior. We have to correct it if need be, or take whatever disciplinary action if need be. And I'm not against that. So we're doing a lot more. And then one of the things that I really must put out there is our clearance rates for major crimes and violent crimes are higher than the national average. And we've accomplished this with a very severe hit to our manpower. Between last year and May of this year, 40 officers left the police department through retirement and transferring to other municipalities that pay more.
Wow, it's I mean, what's the total size of the department?
The total size of the department budgeted positions were 290.
40 is a big.
Yeah, so that's significant.
Yeah.
And so we had to redeploy our manpower, and we had to do things a little bit differently. And the way we set things up now, which I won't go into because that'd be revealing secrets that shouldn't be out there, but we were able to solve crime at a higher, faster rate. And that's one thing I really want to tout about our police department. We're doing really well in that aspect. So our violent crime solve rate is gone up considerably in the past 4 years.
We talked about technology earlier. There's reporting I've heard where like a gunshot there's readers or
yes, we have shot spotter technology here.
Shot spotter technology.
Yeah.
I knew there was like a good name for it, and I was totally messing it up.
So years ago when ShotSpotter first came here, it only covered a small portion of the city, but through the help with the state police and county prosecutor's office, we now have ShotSpotter on 99% of the city. So what the technology does is it triangulates. Whenever there's a shot fire, it triangulates and gives a location out, and an alert goes out via app.
A location down to an address, a block?
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's within 50 feet of where the shot was fired.
Wow. So
what that does is gives the police the ability to respond faster.
Sure.
Instead of in the olden times when there was no shot spotter, a citizen would have to call dispatch and say, hey, there was a shot fired out here, or there's shooting out here, and then the dispatcher would detail a police officer to go there. But now with our shot spotter technology, our computers in our cars get an automatic alert, and the police officers can be responding to that even before the dispatcher details them out there. So the faster we can get to a scene, the more likelihood we're able to identify and maybe arrest a bad guy, or stop evidence from disappearing or being corrupted.
All right, we're going to switch things up now.
Yeah.
As we thank Montanel for being with us, we're going to bring Maura onto the show. Jess Nazario is going to join us. TC HS graduate here, former Tornado, who will bring her energy here to the show in just a little bit. So looking forward to that. And one of the controversial things that's come up with law enforcement recently has been interactions with ICE. So I want to get into that when we return here to Trenton today with Police Director Steve Wilson. We thank you for being with us. It's brought to you by Capital Health System and Haldeman Ford, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones radio experience right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind.
Oi dana, malo tu papuga.
That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denio Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
All right, welcome back to Trenton Today, brought to you by Capital Health System and Haldeman Ford. Great to have Police Director Steve Wilson joining us. We have Jess Nazario now joining the show. Welcome, Jess.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
How is TCNJ?
It's treating me well. I just finished finals, so obviously that stress is now like kind of dwindling down, but definitely a stressful moment when it comes to finals.
But never far from campus here.
No, always here, always come to volunteer. I was just here last night helping out with the basketball game.
Awesome. And Maura now joining us. Welcome to the show. You ready for the holidays?
Yeah, I'm so ready for the winter break coming up. Thank you for having me.
All right, so what is on your holiday list? Any gift ideas that you're sharing with loved ones, or any earlier in the show I think we found out that I could use a Ring doorbell cam, because that might help me with porch piracy, and it's a pretty good idea. Fortunately, I think my neighbors have the door cams, and I know sometimes even that can be a way to identify
Absolutely.
Those porch pirates out there.
I have one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have one.
Now, I would think I would get distracted, though, like wanting to see who's outside, and can you, like at night, if there's some weird figures outside my door, I'm going to get freaked out. But I guess
there's ways to turn off like the motion notifications, because my street is so busy. Before, when I had it on, it was every 5 seconds. Like, somebody's at your door. No, nobody's at my door. Somebody's just passing by.
Yeah, I have people walking by pretty close to my doorway.
That off. It'll still record, but for you to get the notification every time, you only get the note. You can have it so it only notifies you when somebody actually rings your doorbell.
All right, well, that seems like it could be a good deal.
I think it's worth it.
Or you can restrict the motion sensor and back it closer to the house.
Too.
Yeah.
So, any Christmas gift ideas or holiday things you're hoping for?
I don't know. I never really make a list. I just hope the people around me, if they're giving me a gift, they kind of have like an idea of what I would like. But I don't know. I probably should start buying like some dorm essentials though. Start saving for next year.
Yeah.
And maybe get ahead of that.
You know where you're going?
Well, I just recently got my acceptance into Fordham University, which is my dream school. So hopefully I'll be committing there, but I have to see about my financial aid package.
That's great. All right. So dorm essentials, pretty good gift idea for the holidays. What's on the list for the police director? Well, what are some things, like if the police department could make a holiday wish list? Is there any technology things or stuff that other departments have that you say, ooh, if only we had that good stuff?
Yeah, send more cops.
More personnel.
Yeah, more personnel. We recently we got new police vehicles through some grants through the DCA, which were sorely needed. Our fleet was very old and a lot of mechanical problems, and our fleet management is pretty good with keeping those old cars running, but you can only do so much when a car has 250,000 miles on it.
And those new vehicles come like full of all kind of new technology too, right?
Yeah. So they're Ford Explorer Police Interceptors, so they have a beefed up suspension and engine. But then we have to put all of our police package in there. So that would be the lights and sirens, computers,
gotcha.
and mounts for our duty weapons in there. So we were able to replace 58 cars recently. So,
but more than anything else, it would be personnel, new energy, new officers to.
Yeah, new officers. We are a very diverse police department, which I'm proud of that as well. More diverse than when I started back in 1994. In fact, as a matter of fact, 55% of the police department is minority now.
I mean, was that an intentional thing of
I think
to some of the reforms you've been talking about?
I think yes, it is connected to some of the reforms, but it's also reflective of the demographic of the city, because the city's demographic has changed since then, and so we get the benefit from that. So our police department is very reflective of the community it serves, and I think that helps us establish the connection with our community more than ever. So that's all a good thing.
So, Jess, how about you under the...
She's also somebody I keep trying to recruit, but she keeps turning me down. But now that I found out she's in college, I'll see you in 4 years when you graduate, and maybe we'll still be hiring.
If you can pry me away from being an educator, maybe.
Okay.
That's the future right now?
That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm majoring right now in
You can have an impact
Mm-hmm.
on youth as a police officer, too. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, I'll consider it.
Okay.
But I'm actually majoring right now in urban secondary education, so it's a 4+1 master's program. So essentially, I'll be doing 4 years undergraduate and an extra year of master's. And I'm glad to say that I'm going to TCJ on a full ride. Very grateful for that.
Awesome.
So I would only have to pay like master's out of pocket. I'm sure like I can work towards getting scholarships for
I think
that.
like towards the end of you'll actually be in a classroom for one of those semesters too,
Well,
right?
I'm actually already in a classroom. So TCJ starts off your practicum experience very early. So they start you off in sophomore year. You're already in the classroom. You're not quite teaching, but you're observing. And you're taking in everything. So somebody from like me, like from Trenton, and I went to Hopewell Valley, completely different, like night and day difference.
Right.
The main thing that I noticed as soon as I entered in, I asked about security procedures. Because I know in Trenton High is very much like almost like walking through a TSA airport. It's you need to open all the zippers in your bag. You need to walk through the metal detector. If it goes off, you need to get patted down. It's just like a whole thing. Or even if you have perfume, because it could be used as like a weapon, I guess you can say. Like people have sprayed it in other people's eyes. So just like that. Meanwhile, going to Hopewell Valley, you just walk in and show your ID.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally different level of scrutiny.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So like we've had readings in class, particularly about the idea of like the school to prison pipeline and like criminalization of students. So like that was something I immediately noticed as soon as I walked through the door. And I feel like reading about that is one thing, but actually stepping foot into the classroom is a completely different thing.
All right. So holiday gift ideas though, besides a college degree and
Besides a college degree, I would say I don't know. My list is actually more geared toward other people this year. I don't know. I'm literally when I went holiday shopping, instead of like shopping for myself, I'm like, the way that I shop is like if I go to the store.
Well, when you're holiday shopping, you're not supposed to shop for yourself.
Well, of course, yeah. But it's just mostly like if I go to the store and I notice something that like I think resonates, like, oh my god, I think this if it fits this person, I'll just like grab it. But personally for myself, honestly, just clothes for practicum, like more like I guess like more dressier clothes is what I would want. Nice suit, some nice heels, something like that. I think that's what I want for Christmas.
Good fit.
Yeah, good fit.
Yeah. All right, so one of the things that is always kind of a popular gift idea, and unfortunately it sometimes leads to very tragic police interactions, are toy guns and BB guns and other types of weapons like that. Are there like orange things on the end of the barrels for those, or are there ways where you guys can identify that it's not something that is going to be dangerous? In that, I mean, that's a sometimes those decisions are snap decisions, and we don't want anybody to get mixed up in something that is so unfortunate and unnecessary.
Right. So when they make toy guns, they're supposed to be manufactured with an orange tip that suggests that they are toy guns.
Yeah.
So a police officer can discern whether or not there's a real weapon involved or not. Unfortunately, those who are involved in the criminal life, and on some occasions have painted.
They'll put an orange tip.
They'll put an orange tip on it, or gun manufacturers also make guns in different colors. That would suggest that it may be a toy gun. So an officer, when he encounters this, has to go on the instinct that it's real until proven it's not real. And fortunately, I don't think we have any incidents here where someone had a toy gun and was shot by a police officer.
Yeah, every once in a while, you hear something
but,
like that
it has happened in this country, and that's very unfortunate. But so you would think that just through common sense, I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't point a gun at a police officer at any time. But sometimes that has happened, or sometimes the officer makes a mistake and identifies a toy gun as a real gun, or something else as a gun, in fact. But so we have to work through education, gun safety education. One of the other things that we do here in the Trenton Police Department, we have a Citizens Academy we have 2 years. We'll have a spring class and a September class, and during the course of that class, we have a simulator. And the citizens that attend the class, they get to become the police officer. So they get to wear a simulated firearm. They get the police officer in front of a big live action screen, and they get to go through a scenario. And what that does is it's for educational purposes. It's to put you in the shoes of the police officer, and under certain circumstances that a police officer encounters daily on the street, and now you have to make that snap decision. And a lot of folks don't understand that sometimes a police officer has to make a life decision in a very short time. And so it gives them a perspective of that. And I think all of our Citizen Academy graduates get a different perspective on the police department. We have some folks in there that are anti-police that have come there, and through the course of the 9 weeks of training that they do, they've changed their minds about policing. But you said sometimes that reality and perception are different.
Right.
So they get a dose of reality, and they learn from the actual police officers that serve them. So I think that's a really good community outreach that we have going on. Gun safety, I think our citizens could brush up on that.
I mean, being smart about it,
Being
having
smart
common
about it,
sense.
having
We
common
are the
sense.
land of the free,
Yes.
and so we want to be able to have people choose whatever toys they would like to
Yeah.
choose. But I think, like, I don't even do the toy gun. I guess it
Yeah.
was always something that was kind of a no-no in our household to promote that type of thing for young people. Is like, I don't know, it's just never really a big thing. But it is part of gift giving sometimes, and just something I gotta throw that out there today since we're so close to the holidays. And we're talking with Police Director Steve Wilson here. So before the break, I mentioned ICE interactions with police departments. And Maura, I don't know if you've seen any or been distracted by some of the ICE videos that are on social media out there. Jess, I don't know if you've seen some of that stuff where people are going to doors and going into certain facilities and stuff. And sometimes I just get pulled into the drama that's part of that, and how much it bothers me that that's happening. Are there ICE interactions? Are you seeing ICE operating in the city of Trenton in certain situations? Because it certainly seems like there's a large uptick in activity across the country.
Yes, I mean, I can tell you that here in the city of Trenton, ICE has been operating here ever since I was a rookie on the job. We used to do operations with them involving human trafficking, but now in today's world, we are strictly guided by the New Jersey Attorney General's Immigration Trust Directive, which does not allow any law enforcement, local, state, or county to involve themselves in ICE deportation efforts. But it also says that we can assist when there's an emergency or exigent circumstances. So ICE has always been here since I've been an officer here, but now it's become public, so now people are watching. And unfortunately, we did have 2 incidents that were called to question. And we were out there, but we weren't assisting them in their deportation efforts. We were assisting the citizens be safe while ICE had whatever event they had going on. So and some people looked at that as, oh, you're helping them out. And no, we're not helping them out. We got to protect our citizens. That's my job. So if a citizen got hurt, I'm responsible for that. So there was these protesters that came, and they wore pink vests, and they're paid protesters. But what I noticed is they're not from the city of Trenton, but they were trying to invite Trentonians into this zone that we had blocked off, our perimeter, and I thought that was kind of disingenuous. You won't, and then one of them was arrested, but after our sergeant had begged, please don't cross this line, you're going to be arrested. And then that person was like, here, hold my stuff, I'm going, and went across the line and got arrested. And then they appear before city council and say that we locked them up because we were trying to prevent them from helping the citizens. And that wasn't the case at all. And they were kind of disingenuous about it, which was unfortunate. But no, the Trenton Police Department does not assist ICE in their deportation efforts. We are not allowed to, but the Attorney General would have something to say about that. And Attorney General Placken, who's going to be, I guess, replaced at the beginning of the year. Just a couple of weeks ago at the Four Cs, the Capital City Community Coalition meeting, said that the Trenton Police Department is doing well, that I'm a good partner with him, and in the past 4 years, the gun shootings and homicides have gone down considerably. And when there's protesters at City Council saying that we are helping them, but you know who wasn't there saying that we violated his trust directives? The Attorney General. He wasn't there saying that. And then we got good kudos from him at the last Four Cs meeting. So we are aware that sometimes that there are ICE activities in the city of Trenton, but they're not required to tell us. They're federal authority, and they're here doing their job. And number one, we couldn't interfere with their job to begin with because they're also law enforcement. But if the only time that we would actually help them if there was an emergency or exigent circumstances, which in the second case where they were there was a child welfare issue. So child welfare to the Trenton Police Department is an emergency. So we responded. We handled the child welfare part, and then we left. And whatever they had going on with their activities as far as their job, we had nothing to do with that.
Feels like the other thing that's confusing about the whole landscape is that it is like state to state as well. Like New Jersey has the Attorney General procedure
right.
That you guys have to follow, but in different locations across the country, there's a different approach that local governments are taking, and a different standard, and become a little bit of difficult to discern exactly who is doing what and how and that type of thing. So appreciate letting us know a little bit about what's going on here in Trenton. Jess, you were talking about being an educator down the road at some point, and one of the things that I think is a vital part of the police department's work is outreach into schools. And I'm wondering if you remember like any assemblies from back in the day. I mean, I remember years ago we had somebody who would make like an annual visit. I think it was Trooper Brown or whatever, but would come out and just talk about safety around traffic and safety around interactions with police and those types of things. But that's a great way, maybe that'll be your future with the police department.
Could be, yeah. I don't quite remember the police coming, because I remember the fire department coming, talking about like stop, drop, and roll, and like what to do. Like you only have like 2 minutes to get out of the house.
Everybody loves a fireman.
Yeah. But I think we should have more police officers like come, especially like the elementary school students, because it might be like seeing a police officer with like all of like their equipment and stuff, like the bulletproof vests, their gun on like their side, like it could be intimidating. So just showing like kids, like just like showing them like the police are not there to hurt you, they're there to help you, and just like to be less intimidated by them.
Right. Any assemblies or like that type of thing that you remember more of?
I don't think. Well, I think at 9GA at some point, when in like my health class, I'm not sure if it was somebody from the police department. It was I think it was the police department that came and like talked about like their career, and stuff. And I thought that was interesting. I think that was like their earliest memory I have of like police coming to the school to talk about something.
So let's go. What's going on with you when it comes to like the holiday break and wrapping up everything? I guess I was hearing from Mr. Francis that Friday is your last day.
Yeah. Yeah, we have until Friday until we go on to our break next week.
Any big plans over the holiday break? Maybe when we get back, we should talk about our New Year's resolutions, because not only do we have the holidays coming up, and as I mentioned, they did a Christmas tree lighting in Trenton, and they lit the menorah a couple of days ago, and they're going to do a Kwanzaa thing on December 23rd. I don't know, any
Well, me
big
and my
plans?
friends are planning on going into New York City on Monday.
Nice.
And then just like spending time together, hanging out around the city.
Awesome.
And then I'll be spending time with my family for Christmas and New Year's. Then out of that, I don't know what I'll be doing. Probably applying for finishing my college application and stuff.
New York
as well.
thing, is that a city trip like a traditional thing, or is it like doing it this year? Like first time with friends?
Me and my friends haven't all gone into New York together, but I have gone with like one of my friends. But like we just like want to hang out. We thought like New York would be a good time.
You go to like Rockefeller and see the big tree.
Yeah, we think we're gonna do that. Like karaoke in K-Town as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, they will have a big Kwanzaa event happening here December 23rd at City Hall. And Kwanzaa is something, I mean, every year I have to do a little like Kwanzaa research about how each day is special and the different ways that they mark the 7 Kwanzaa days and stuff. But they'll be talking about that December 23rd, a great event happening in Trenton. We are going to step aside and we're wrapping it up. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it. The
Okay.
show's over. I forgot. I think what else do I want to talk about? A whole bunch of stuff. Maybe we can have.
Is there a question that I can ask before we conclude?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. I wanted to ask. So, in highlight of the most recent, like the mass shooter events that just happened. So, the Brown University shooting that just happened, and then the Bondi Beach shooting that just happened in Australia. I wanted to ask you, as police director, like in these kind of situations where obviously there's panic and people don't know exactly what to do to stay safe. Like, what are like the best course of actions in order to stay calm and like be safe in like that kind of situation where like you don't really know, maybe you don't know, you're not familiar with the area and you're just like trying to be safe. Like what's like the best course of action for that?
Well, if you were in a school setting, as a general rule, I think shelter in place until somebody of authority comes to get you. I recently outfitted with our police department with the weapons that they can use to combat such evildoers out there. And so we're able to respond better and not be outgunned by the bad guy now. So we have officers that are trained in active shooter responses. And so, yeah, I think the best thing to do is shelter in place until someone of authority, whether it be a teacher or principal or actual police officer, says, okay, everything's good, you can leave now.
And how about in a more like open space, like something that's like for example, like at Bondi Beach, it was very much like a more open space where like there's not a lot of places to hide. What is like the best course in action for that, especially like as I said, like or also too like at concerts as well. Sometimes mass shooters happen as well. So like in a situation where you're in an unfamiliar environment, what's the best course of action?
Unfortunately, like we had a mass shooting here back in 2017, the Art All Night shooting. 17 people were shot and 22 people were injured. Some of the folks that were injured that weren't shot, they were trampled because everybody just ran everywhere. And unfortunately, it's hard to stop that from happening. So if you're talking about a situation where there's a concert, there's limited exit egress, and people are going to panic and they're going to run. Think about the old scenario they talked about in a movie theater. If you yell fire, what happens? There's mass panic and people just will run over each other just to get out. And you have to try and keep a cool head. Try and think methodically, and move to the exit, or move if it's an open space. Move to get away from that as quickly and safely as possible. And sometimes you may also just try and find something to hide behind. But to move away from the danger in an open space is the best thing to do. But you have to do it, which is hard to do. But you have to try not to be panicked while you're doing this.
And also, would you recommend that? Like, I know sometimes people are like, follow the crowd. Would you recommend maybe not doing that? Because sometimes following the crowd can end up like, I know like in a movie theater, especially when there's only 1 or 2 exits, and everybody's just rushing towards that exit, and then it's harder for you to be able to evacuate in a more safer way. Would you recommend trying to find an alternative exit?
I think that was something you would have to judge at the time, because following the crowd may be the best way to go. And if you break off, then maybe you're out there as a single person, and maybe the bad guy would go, oh, I'm going to go after that person by themselves, because rather than a crowd, I could be stopped. So you would have to judge that for yourself. I really couldn't say do this or do that, because if that situation happens, then they're going to say, well, Police Director Steve Wilson said do this, But you have to get to safety as safe as possible, as quickly as possible.
I was in a situation kind of like that, and one of the things that I came to mind was that most of those things are targeted, and that the totally random acts of violence are so rare that I don't know. I felt like nobody is targeting me, and so I just need to be cool and wait for the situation to play out a little bit more. And then once that happened, it was resolved, and we went on. But so many times, I think we do find that these things were targeted as opposed to completely random. And I don't know if that should have people feeling more comfortable or more uneasy about those situations. But that's one thing that always, now that we're asking the tough questions, one more before we let you go. How about body cameras and what role they play for Trenton police? Are those body cameras always on? Are Trenton police equipped with those types of devices?
Oh, yeah, that's not a hard question. The Trenton Police Department has been using body cameras, I think since 2016. They're always on, but not. So that it's kind of weird because they're always recording 30 seconds before the officer presses the button to activate them. So there's 30 seconds of video, always recorded. So when an officer is detailed to an assignment, they hit the button and they go to active recording. And they only turn them off under certain circumstances.
But then there was a few, like a half minute prior to that, where that also is part of the...
Yeah, so they always try and capture 30 seconds of what the officer's doing prior to him hitting the button. Now, so they're as a rule, you have to hit the button every time you're detailed to something. But sometimes the Attorney General, when he put out the body-worn camera policy, he realized that there are certain circumstances where an officer has to react instantaneously, and so under those circumstances, the officer will press his activate the body-worn camera when it's feasible and safe to do so. Like for instance, if an officer comes across a street fight, he's got to get out there and break up the fight immediately.
Right.
Might not necessarily hit
that
button. You're hitting that button. You're thinking about public safety and keeping somebody from being harmed, and so you activate as soon as you can safely to do so. There's circumstances like that too. So,
it seems like the technology would be there to be recording all the time. Is part of that like an officer privacy type of issue?
Yeah, I think so. Because officers will be speaking with their partner, or if they're not, they may be calling their girlfriend or wife, and whatever private conversation they may be having.
Hopefully at different conversations with the girlfriend and the wife.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's an officer privacy issue, but when it comes to the police officer's duty, that's public. So I think that's why it's not doing 24/7 recording. And the other thing is, if it did that, it would have cost us $1 zillion to keep the videos.
Capture it and everything.
Yeah, because anything they record, when they dock and recharge their body-worn camera, it gets downloaded into a server. So imagine 24 hours each cop getting downloaded. That would be mass expense for the city of Trenton.
Now I think with AI and all the technology, it's probably more doable than maybe it was even a couple of years ago and stuff. But good to know that those situations are being recorded, and for the protection of the officer and protection of Trenton citizens. And it's such a fascinating topic, I think, law enforcement and the work you do to protect the citizens, and how that also dovetails in with our rights as citizens and some of the challenges and difficulties there. And as you talked about some of the police reforms that you guys have been working on in order to make sure you serve and protect those that are in the area. But thanks for giving us a little bit of time today. I really appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
And Jess,
glad to be here.
Great to see you again.
Absolutely, pleasure to be here.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Maura, thank you for joining us for a little bit. Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Hopefully you have a great break, and best of luck with what comes next for you. Good luck at Fordham. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully I'll be in
good
New
luck.
York next year.
Yeah. Well, thanks to the crew here, and thanks to Mr. Coniglio, Mr. Francis, Brianne O'Neill, our video engineer. Thanks to Capital Health System and Haldeman Ford for helping to power today's Trenton Today on WBCB. We'll catch you next time.